we're going to do a couple of draws here. So, everybody filled out the survey and the little. I can see the results of that, and but before we get to the results, we're going to have a draw. And everybody back in the room here that filled out the survey, we're going to have the draws for 2 gift cards, I believe. Right there. There's a couple of people still filling out. Hi there. Anybody else with the survey? Going once? Going twice? 3 times. Okay, we're going to have a draw. Can you put my hand in there? All right. Eric Jacob. Eric. Wesley McKay. There we have the 2 winners. Any other draw? That's it. So we can. Is there anything that we can bob me up to close? Deputy? Who? Bobby? Yeah. You know? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do Bobby first, and then. I'm tripping over my own bag here. Deputy Grand Chief Bobby Narcisse is going to make some comments, and he'll be on Zoom. So he'll be doing that now, okay? Okay, you're on, Bobby.
Oh, hello, everyone. This is Deputy Grand Chief Bobby Narcisse calling. And it's been, I've been getting reports daily throughout the whole past couple of days with all the things that's been happening. And I'm very enthused with all the discussion and the directions. And I think we've heard it before, but also I think we really have to keep in mind that, we really have to really listen together and listen to all the different regions and what's happening, and especially with education jurisdiction. But before I move on with my closing remarks, I just want to really acknowledge the staff and the chiefs and counselors and community education directors and staff, all of our community members that were participating last couple of days. I also like to acknowledge Lucy, also being our elder throughout the our jurisdiction team and whatnot. And a special thanks to her too. Like she was always messaging me while I was in the hospital and making sure that we had some positive prayers there. And I really appreciate that. And I really want to acknowledge the chiefs and the leadership, all the education committee members that were there the past couple of days. I know we're in a state of flux right now in terms of all the different priority areas being looked at within the Shnabyaski Nation. But like I said at the beginning, I assure you that our resolve is still strong with respect to education and education jurisdiction, and especially the reset table. I know we have a lot of discussion on the reset table, on how we were able to establish it in terms of a NAN specific process. I've always pushed for our NAN specific process in these particular areas. We've said it all year that we can't be flushed or into the same realm as discussions across the province or even Canada. Everybody knows at this meeting that our needs are unique. Our schools are still left wanting. We need supports for our teachers, our teacherages, special needs. All those different areas, they're still lacking in our communities, and it's and that can't no longer move ahead. So the reset table and our vision, and bringing back the Chiefs Committee and the Education Committee as well, bringing back together all these different areas across NAN. I find that there's still a lot of questions and in terms of process of discussion of negotiation, how that's going to work. We're pushing through. We only have a few more years or a year and a half left with this particular government. What's going to happen? And I'm pushing also with the province as well, with the Ministry of Education, Stephen Lecce there, and also getting all these other areas within the province, met with Ministry of Colleges and Universities and various ministries as well to help complement the work that we are doing, that we are pushing ahead. But I also like to remind us that, and remind everyone here too, that this executive, my staff, and we recognize that NAN is very diverse, always. There's so much different good things that are happening within our region, across our 49 communities, across our 7 tribal councils, our independents, and the fact that our languages across NAN has to be in the forefront of any development or community-based education system development. We have to revitalize our languages, but also at the same time too, looking at all those different high priority areas like mental health, like special needs, all those areas that we're working in the background in terms of fulfilling and make sure that these are high priority discussion items, negotiation items. No longer should we be applying for these fixed pots of money. Oh yeah, the ministry is giving out whatever 10 million across Ontario for such and such. What does that mean in the remote north? We've been doing a lot of work in terms of quantifying remoteness and what does it cost to deliver student services within the north. What does it cost to have good teachers? What does it cost to have and develop an education system that is reflective of the true cultural diversity of Anishinaabe Nation? These are the areas that we need to really focus on. We can't rely on scraps because, our students, our staff, our families are always left wanting. It shows with all the different things that's been happening, especially with the advent of all these different recommendations, students' recommendations, youth, and it's still going on. It's still going on. And those are different areas where we really need to concentrate our efforts, listen to one another, listen to all the different diverse ideas that our community members have. A lot of solutions should come from at the community level, but also at the same time too, it's an opportunity, a great opportunity for all of us who are here together to engage in all the best practices, as they always say. What's working in different areas, what areas in governance need to be explored and also maintained and established, to look at all these different systems. Like a lot of our focus over the years has just been K-12. We also have to have that jurisdiction discussions on various areas of post-secondary, making investments and capital investments at the community level. Also supporting many of our off-reserve First Nation schools and institutions, not just in Thunder Bay or Sioux Lookout or Timmins or anywhere that our students are pursuing their education. Our chiefs have maintained that their children, their youth, their families are their jurisdiction, wherever they may reside. So it's with that resolution too that we act upon and support and ensure that the work that we're moving towards is very important. We've always said at the beginning that the rate of reform is too slow. Like I know we had some hiccups this year within the Anishinaabe Nation that we need to really address, but also the reason why NAN is here, it's an advocacy organization. I will continue with the direction of our chiefs and our chiefs committee, our education committee, and our staffs to really look at paving a way, looking at those immediate and outstanding priorities that we have. And the fiscal is coming up, and many of our funding arrangements are still up in the air and everything. So we need to really work with our education councils, our education committees at the community level to identify those various priorities as well, because we want to establish a education reset bilateral table with Indigenous Services Canada and CERNA to look at those immediate unique costs and resourcing that needs to happen within the Anishinaabe Nation. So I'm looking forward to continuing all this work. And I know I have another week or so to week or maybe two, but I want to push myself. I nearly showed up today. I was talking to my staff yesterday. My nurse was saying that, you're progressing pretty good and stuff. All the work and with all the treatments and all that stuff you've been doing for the past couple of weeks, and maybe I'll go visit and say hello to everybody. But I say, don't push yourself. Don't. You gotta heal, and I encourage that with everyone to also self-care. Because we all have a responsibility. I know we have a responsibility to our communities the elders and our families and the children, youth, families whom we serve. And I think it's very important that we celebrate a lot of the successes and ideas that are coming from our communities, but also be very cognizant of the various outstanding challenges that we need to really ensure that we bring to the negotiation table. I just want to leave the fact that we can't just, when they're saying, "Oh, we're going to have an education meeting," or OTIFA meeting, or we're going to have like a Canada-wide meeting. I think we should start pushing the envelope in terms of saying, well, Anishinaabe Nation communities and their tribal councils and education command a forum, a meeting in terms of identifying our outstanding priorities in moving ahead. And I'm looking forward to working with our Chiefs Committee, with our Education Committee, with you, the community members as well, to really get this information out. Because a lot of times communication is a big barrier. Many of your community members, your family members, people that you work with are saying, "What do you guys do in education? Like, what's going on? Now, what's this education reset table?" So we're going to be working with our staff and working with you to look at what does that mean, and really harnessing the new education reset table to identify and also secure resources for our First Nation communities in these very outstanding areas. We want to work with Deputy Grand Chief Annabetti's team with early years. We're talking about preschools. We're establishing those areas. So I know we have Head Start and Healthy Babies, but I think it doesn't go as far enough as it should. I know, like, spent a lot of time in the hospital, but I've seen a lot of young families. I've seen a lot of young families go through the hospital and checkups, and wow, like our population is booming. Even within NAN, and I just kept thinking, like, we need to ensure that there are supports, resources, infrastructure available for those young children coming up, and especially those with special needs, and working within our communities to identify all those various priorities and moving ahead. But with that, I'm just so very proud and so very encouraged of this education jurisdiction meeting that we had for the past couple of days. Looking forward to debriefing in terms of, okay, all right, what next? We've heard from the communities, but still we still have a lot of work to do to work with our individual communities and tribal councils on looking at those different priorities. So yeah, the work continues, as I always say, and look forward to working with you all. Again, thank you to the staff. Thank you for everyone who facilitated this meeting. And like I said, there's going to be a lot more coming. And like I said, even though this process was NAN sponsored, we still want to really respect and adhere to all those regional initiatives that are happening as well. Please feel like I'm back online here. Like I got my cell phone on now again, and so my staff is going to be there till. So if you have questions, or if you want to talk with me on different things or different ideas, or different points of areas where we need to really change our initiatives, please give me a shout, email me, give me a call on my cell. I'd be happy to talk with you on those particular areas. With that, Chimigwech, and thank you so much for really participating in the past couple of days. And we really look forward to working with you in establishing an education system that is reflective of the true diversity and celebration of our culture and heritage and languages as we move ahead in this very important work. Chimigwech.
Deputy Grand Chief. So it brings us to a close. I'm going to ask Lucy to come up here and say the closing prayer, and then we'll have the drum song after the prayer.
Thank you, Ben. Good to see you here. Are you still participating? I know that you're quite close to my late husband, Goyce. And I want to thank Deputy. I feel a bit emotional because it's just so good to hear his voice. As he said, I did keep in touch with him. I asked him a permission with my family church here in a city, New Hope. I call it a prayer line. I know there's prayer warriors that know how to pray in that church. So I got everybody together to start praying for our deputy. I just want to thank Kichimanadu. He's great and he loves each one of us. It's just so good to hear his voice, and because I didn't know what was happening to him. I want to thank him too that he's quite close to my two sons, and he kept in touch with them. And I know one time he messaged me and he said that he really misses my late husband. Those of you that won't know, my husband was Goyce Kakagamek, and a year and 2 months he left us. It all happened quick, and he had COVID pneumonia. And it wasn't just a COVID. And sometimes I feel hurt when people make comments about COVID because it's very serious and it's still around. And it took my husband. He had Delta variant. That's what he had, period. And the one that really took a lot of lives, the COVID. And through all of it, you know that when Deputy messaged me one evening, he said he really misses my husband because when the years when he was a deputy, he ran 3 terms and 12 years, and he worked with Bobby during that time, mentored him. And so I'm just really grateful. And I told him at one time, we need him. He needs to take care of himself. I gave him an advice. I told him, you don't rush. You don't rush, take your time because you need to continue. Your body, his body went trauma because he didn't know what was happening. All he knew was infection. But his whole body went to trauma, so he needs to take care. He still take it easy. So I'm grateful today to see his voice and his face. Yeah, it's been really great to be here. I'd like to thank NAN team. And I pray for them a lot. I know they work hard to get this conference going for 2 days. And I feel that with NAN, as one of the elders, I've been for a few years already, I feel that through the great loss we had, I know that it's helping me and healing me because they keep me busy. And I'm grateful for that. I want to thank the elder that spoke. You guys say that we need to keep moving on. We need to come up with many new things. I'm not a politician by any means, but I told NAN, the team, that I am concerned for education because we're all educated in our family. two of my older son and my daughter, they spent a few years in their own community in teaching there. And then my son was a principal for a few years at DFC, Dennis Franklin Carmody High School. And I have another younger son that worked there for quite a few years. So we're all educators. And I even got pushed into getting older after my children grew up. I got pushed into go to school. That's another story. And that's another story of my life. So we're all educators in our family. So I just want to thank my chief. I think he left already. I want to thank him for his good works, that he has been a big support for our family through our great loss. He says, keep in touch with my son. And I just want to thank those that have reached out to us and really comfort us and encourage us, Lord. That's what keeps us going. It's, we still feel the loss. It's still fresh. We have our moments. We have our days. And we have different stages we go through, even our grandchildren are really working through some areas. My oldest grandchildren, my son's older children, they lost another grandma over Christmas time, just a year after, soon after a year after my husband was gone. Their grandmother, my daughter-in-law's mother, died of cancer this December. So we have been going through a lot of losses, a lot of grief. So I want to thank everybody that been a real encouragement to our family. And I also want to thank, I appreciate these two ladies here, my fellow elders that I sat with. I really appreciate them. And I've seen that it's been very encouraging for me to be here. It was in Nakumianga. It's true that we keep saying to promote our Nubit language, and yet we don't talk it enough. Even in a conference like this. I got the boy and Snimiak. You got his meaning, how mando, and Jen Snabiak, Jen Sanapo Muyak. I got the boy, we strike Magamajudik. I was magic is sick when here. So I agree with that elder that spoke. I mean, I don't want to keep you. It's been a long day, long 2 days. As again, you know, because I'm not young anymore. So me is here. So I'll close for the day of this conference. Madu Kingak Sotsen. Kanakumgo, Magagish Witch Toy. Ekanen Shag, Ekomine Kanmado Gonog, which Skoony Hook, Ego Dunhukik. After just come it was a gunning of Dunhuan. I was smoke a good man, Switch Hedor, when I got Mutuat. And in his Nigan Scamwad, and in he would Dunhuan, which had. When Johnson Skazik Egonusnanak ma, and Mabne Nakto, going a Skuni Ugum, Kaji Pimbatoat. So in Magosme, I go on an Akumian, where go up my deputy Bobby. Canada had a smegagi Minia, Jonim P. Miscoya Dego, or Smedju Mudu to Dunkill Music. Almihaya. There's the Motskaknoya, Gonagan Machawat, Chikanen Mata, Eganada Chismatsiwat, Mijibaksaninia. O God, our Father, our Creator, we just give you thanks. There's lots of things that we thank you for. We ask you for this conference. We thank you, God, for all the representatives and all the work that has been done, Lord. For our people, Lord, our communities, our children and our grandchildren. And I pray your blessing upon each one as we depart from here. that you watch care over us, God, put a hedge of protection of everyone to arrive home and their families. I ask you that you bless them. Imagine God with you and Jesus Christ. Amen. I see you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Lucia. Now we're gonna have the drum song to end our conference officially. Okay, good night, everybody. May we get to the dormers.
Before we all leave, we just want to thank you, Bentley, for joining us for the past couple of days. We have a little parting gift for you.